Yo, welcome to a new edition of the Speaker Giga podcast. I'm your host, Steve O. Steve, and I'm here with my brother, my partner, Tommy T, our residential music enthusiast.
I can't wait till you say our residential DJ.
DJ.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon, man. It's coming real soon.
Scratching.
Also, shout out to our residential artists. Real soon. Shout out to our residential artist, G. He ain't back quite yet. He's still on the honeymoon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Doing a honeymoon thing out there in the streets. So if you see him or you follow him on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, make sure y'all congratulate him. He is officially married. He's a married man now. I's a married man now. Shout out to my guy, man. I'm so happy for him. Yeah. And me, Steve O. Steve, your residential former music exec and music historian in the building today. And we got a great episode for y'all, man. We're going to be going down all the news from last week. So this is a great episode where we're just going to be shooting the breeze. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good barbershop talk, good guy talk, and we're going to have some fun, man. But of course, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, man, we're going to get started off in here.
Let's do it.
And we're going to hop off in this top 5. I know G ain't here, but always in his spirit, we jump in that top 5 of the week. So, Tommy T, you ready?
Let's do it, man.
Man, go for it.
All right, so no particular order, but this is my order. The first song on my top 5 is Lil Jon, Bia. I was watching right. I was watching Bia off of on the I was gonna say MTV Hip Hop Awards, but BET Hip Hop Awards from this past week, and she did her song that she got with Lil Jon, and I was like, I want to hear that song, Bia. So I started listening to it, ran down this rabbit hole of Lil Jon, and I was like, I gotta put this on here. Another song I got is a song called Clockwork by D Smoke, featuring Marsha Ambrosia. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm not sure, Ambrosia. But she definitely can sing. And she's one half of Floetry. I don't know if you guys have ever, do you guys remember that group or not? But they made some awesome music.
Yeah, they did,
yeah. That album is banging, by the way.
That album is incredible. I'm surprised there's not more people talking about it.
Right, I am too. But he got a song on there with not Lil Jon, but John Legend. Yeah. Oh man, that song is nice, bro. But this one stood out to me, man, because I was listening to. I was like, I never heard this song, and I always enjoyed her sing. She's actually on that album a few times, so that's kind of cool. The next one I got Lil Wayne, Money on My Mind, from the Carter 2 album. That album, like we was talking about last time we recorded with Mark, we were talking about Lil Wayne, and so that got me listening to a little bit more Lil Wayne. And somebody brought up Lil Wayne didn't have I asked the question about Lil Wayne a few weeks ago too, about can he be mentioned in the conversation with Jay-Z, Biggie, and Pac. And somebody pointed out the fact that Wayne doesn't have a classic album. And
I think that's false.
I didn't like I was sitting up there and I was trying to figure out, does he have a classic album? And if I had to say that a classic album, I would say now he's not talking about mixtapes. That was one thing he pointed out, but I would have to say Carter 2 is probably the classic album that Lil Wayne produced or, put out or whatnot. In my eyes, probably not everybody else's. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to jump in there real quick. It was a lot of interesting comments when I looked down through there. One that I wanted to hear more about, because I think it's the same person, because he said he didn't know how to make songs or something.
I'm not sure.
I think it was the same person, but I'm not totally sure. I want to hear more about that, because I've heard that once before in my lifetime, and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Think about it."
That was the
does
first
he
time
make good songs?
That was the first time I
does
heard
he make
that.
a complete song?
Yeah.
Does he have good records? Yes, but does he make complete song, and that's very interesting. 'Cause I've heard that before, and I just never really like paid attention to it. Now to hear it again, I'm like, now I got to go back and listen to see does Wayne make complete songs. But I don't know if that takes it away from him being in that conversation. As far as the classic album, for me, I always thought that Carter 2 was it, but I really believe Carter 3 is it.
You think so?
When I go to listen to Carter 3 now, as opposed to when I
it was
first
out?
did,
Yeah.
when it was first out, I was like, what is this? This is trash. I was like,
Right.
yeah, I was
I
like,
had
this
the
is,
same.
yeah, it
I didn't
wasn't
think it was trash though, but it was like I wanted mixtape Wheezy
on that album.
on the album.
Yeah.
Because like if you remember, that was like Carter 3 came out like when Wayne was at his prime.
Yeah.
You know, when every other day it was a new Wayne song, and you know, he couldn't do nothing wrong. And he was just going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think that's what threw me too. Cause like,
Yeah.
Cause on Carter 3 was Mrs. Officer and stuff like that. And like,
was it a Millie? Is that what they call it? A Millie,
yeah, a Millie. Yeah, all that. And when I think Carter 1 and Carter 2 are like kind of on the matter of fact, you know what? I think that those two are probably, well, I say Carter 2 is still a classic.
Yeah.
I think Carter 1 was like the switch because we seen so much of Wayne. Like I said before, you saw Hot Boy Wayne, then you saw Solo Wayne, then you saw Wayne like become kind of an adult with Carter 1. And then, you know, you see Carter 2 where he perfects that, which I think Carter 2 is his classic.
Yeah.
But I think Carter 3 is a classic as well. Because when I go back to listen to it now and with a different ear, I don't skip a record. Like I don't skip nothing. Like every single thing on there flows seamlessly. And it rocks out. And I was like, goodness gracious, did we like take this album for granted? But that was the album that sold 1 million in a day.
Yeah.
Back when you had to buy a CD.
Right.
Not streaming.
Before streaming.
Back when you had to buy a CD and we were like, why do people love that? But a Millie, Lollipop.
Lollipop, that's what I was thinking about, man.
Yeah, you had a Millie, you had Lollipop, you had Mrs. Officer.
What's that song you did with Babyface?
Oh yeah.
That was a nice
Crap,
song.
I like the playlist. right now. But yeah, like that album there, now that I listen to it when I am older,
like with nothing competing with it, because like Wayne put that out and continued to put out mixtapes.
Yeah,
he let that one breathe a little bit, but he continued to put out mixtapes, and it was like that album couldn't compete with the mixtapes he was putting out.
But yeah, so if we put mixtape to the side, and then you're like the Carter 3, because Carter 3 was an album, not a mixtape.
Right.
So once you get that out your mind, and then you look at it, like, let me run down Three-Peat. Three-Peat was hard intro. Like a hard intro. Like Three-Peat was hard. Then he hit you with a Millie. Then after that, it was Comfortable with Babyface. That's the one you look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the Phone Home. Huh?
What's the jump when he was a doctor?
Hold on, let me see.
Are you going down?
It's Dr. Carter. Yeah, it's Dr.
Carter.
Carter. But then you got Phone Home, which was probably the weakest record on there. Phone Weezy. You know that, which is probably the weakest record on there.
But you ride through it though.
But yeah, it will ride, and you'll be like, I'm riding with it. And then you went with Mrs. Officer, which was a hard record. Yeah. Shoot Me Down, which was a hard record. La La with Busta Rhymes. You Ain't Got Nothing, Action. Mr. Carter with Jay-Z. Yeah. Got Money
that was
with T-Pain.
Yeah.
Then the Dr. Carter record. Tie My Hands with Robin Thicke, which is a hard record.
Yep.
Let the Beat Build, which is which everybody started rapping over that.
Bro, you finna have me listen to Carter 3, man.
Yeah, like and then we haven't even gotten a Lollipop, which was the like 12th song on there.
That was the single.
Yeah, and then you get P Monster, and then Don't Get It, and then Lollipop remix, and then I think it's one more. Prostitute too. So it's like looking back at that album, like I think that's his classic album. I
That's
think
it.
Carter 2 is as well. So I think he maybe, had 2 back-to-back albums. But yeah, that's just my opinion real quick with it. I'll let you finish your list.
Mine too. I forgot. Hey, I forgot I was in my list. Start talking about Wayne. Let's put this down and start. No, but
Yeah.
what's next, man? Jay-Z, The Story of OJ.
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
that song there, that album, I can't just talk about this one song
Mhm.
because that album itself is to me is a masterpiece. It's like how people look at the Mona Lisa and Picasso's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that album is to me. Just because dude did some teaching, told some stories, and he really progressed where he was in his life by through the storytelling on that album, man. He tell you about
Absolutely.
some things and then um make some things make sense as well. So the story of OJ just sticks out to me
That record,
because
bro.
it
Individual.
came out and I've always been interested in OJ
Mhm.
because OJ himself was a superstar,
Yeah, he
you
will.
know. And once the thing happened when he killed that lady, killed his I can't remember her name. But when
Yeah.
everything
His wife.
happened, yeah, his ex-wife, I think, when he killed them, um, and like the stories behind all that stuff, how OJ was like, he's OJ. Like he really said that,
Hey,
like
we still gotta say allegedly because he was never convicted.
allegedly because he
Yeah.
was never convicted on that. But yeah, so story of OJ, Jay-Z off of 444. 42 Doug featuring Future,
Too
Maybach,
easy.
bruh. Like this song, just like I, I just really like this song, man. I think I put it on my top 5 a few weeks ago, but I just really like this song, bro.
That's so hard, man.
It is, man. It is.
42 Doug hard too.
Yeah, I give him that, man. I'm starting to. It's like him and Lil Uzi Vert.
Him, Uzi, and Gunna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uzi Vert been coming out with some nice stuff, bro. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I ain't know about him in the beginning. It's kind of like how Lil Yachty grew on me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But honorable
Yeah.
mention, man. I want to put this out here. Babyface Ray, Big Sean, Hit Boy. It ain't my fault. I was telling Steve before we started recording on the podcast that I heard this song last week or the week before, whenever it came out, but never really gave it a listen until this past week. And this is a great song, man. It's hard. I like the lyrics. I like the beat because it pays homage to the old "It Ain't My Fault" with Silk the Shock and Mystical.
Yeah.
And I've been who else? It's ESTG did a
Yeah.
song 5500. Is he took a old Juvenile beat
Yeah.
and redid it. So it's kind of like, man, I've been like looking for songs that's doing that, man.
Yeah.
So
Paying some
um
homage.
yeah. That's gonna round out my top 5, man.
My bad, dog. I thought you was talking about the Too Easy record, but you was talking about Maybach. My
No,
bad.
no, no, no. No.
My bad. Sorry.
That Too
Sorry.
Easy record dope
That
too,
Too
man.
Easy
But
record hard, man. I've been listening to it for the past week. I was like, yeah. But no, that Maybach hard.
man, that thing
Um,
tough, man.
is that the one
Hit
where
me
you
what?
say I've been putting it on for my city?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was riding to that on the way back from. I was at a wedding Saturday night, and I was riding back, and I was in we got a new BMW truck.
Did you?
No, yeah. Kena one of the new trucks. She got a new truck. It's a
All right,
BMW,
all
and
right.
I was heading back from Clarksville, and like when you're heading back from Clarksville,
Ain't number road.
yeah, it's not but road, but there's a period where you like start to see Nashville,
Yeah,
and you see the whole skyline and just how beautiful it like Nashville really is from this certain part when you're heading back from Clarksville.
hmm
And that song came on like at the perfect time.
yeah.
And I was just like, I got hype. I was like, but no, my city. I started swerving through traffic. You know, it's got the the moon roof and
Yeah,
sun roof.
you
I'm
just
like,
ride.
20, 50, I'm like, shit. I feel
Just
good, man.
glide, man.
Hey, you never know, man. When you chase your dreams and you work hard, you get to that point where you're like, you start
Yeah,
seeing stuff different and really do appreciate things.
yeah,
Um, it may not be a Maybach, but it's a BMW that I never thought I'd be in driving as ours. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's one of the moments where you feel a song and you just be like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
that's what
already
we
know
talked
it, man.
about. That's what we talked about. So absolutely, man, that's a record. So we'll jump in my top five, man. So my top five for the week: Starlito, Don Trip, man, Step Brothers, man. Yeah, 5 times. Look here. If you want to hear a record from Don Trip and Lito, man, this is one of them. It's plenty of them out there, but this is one of my favorites. It's some more, but I didn't want to be too Starlito heavy on my list because I've been listening to Starlito like crazy. Also, the next one after that, man, Starlito once again. This is off of the Hot Chicken album, Starlito's Hot Chicken. 100 I Shoot. This is just one of my favorite records, man, and he's spitting on it too.
Yeah,
So it's plenty more that where he's going in a lot deeper, but this is one of my records that if I'll play it back like more
yeah,
than once
yeah.
and just listen to him. 100 I Shoot, and the beat hard, and I mean, just is what it is, man. Where Lito at anyway, man? I gotta find him. Also, man, after that, man, Don Toliver. Hey, this album is fire.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, the new
I
one,
haven't listened to it, man.
man. Check it out, man.
I
You
got
gotta check
to.
it out.
I got to.
You gotta go do it. Swanging on West. Oh, hold up. Westmeyer. I hope I said that right. I think I did. Westmeyer. Yeah, something like that. You'll know the song when you hear it, man. I love it. It's real smooth. The entire album's kind of smooth, like this record, but this song right here just, man, it makes me feel good, man. He's talking that talk on, and I enjoy it. After that, man, Trick Daddy. You don't know now. Look here. This is a hood classic, man. This is when we first got introduced to Trainer. And boy, this was a nasty song. Like, goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
We with the legs up, then I blow all in your butt. Yeah, yeah. Don't listen to this while the kids around.
Right.
After that, the Gap Band. Outstanding. Look, this is one of my favorite records of all time. Look here. We took a trip. We was all in Florida with the fam. My wife, her sister, her family, our family, my brother. I'm one of the people who kind of hate saying brother-in-law. I'm just saying my brother here. I mean, y'all been married for so long. I've been married with so long. We did brothers. So this, we was playing some dominoes, and man, this song came on, and it's just one of them feel good moments, man. Outstanding. It just feels good. I love this record. I had some honorable mentions, but I didn't include them this week because I think this is enough. Like, just action-packed records right here. So that rounds out my top five for the week. So shout out to everybody. I know we missed last week's playlist, but look forward to this week's playlist with me and Tommy T's top five, as well as G's. Look out for it. G's mystery top five records. So check that out and let's see what's going on. I hope y'all enjoy the top five for this week.
Yes, sir.
We gonna keep it pushing, man.
We gonna keep it pushing.
So normally, well, I guess it's still news with Tommy T, but this week's episode, man, is all about Hodgepodge. So we're taking like a bunch of news from
this past week.
Yeah, this past week, basically. And we're just gonna shoot them off and have some good barbershop talk. Make sure y'all hear it. Y'all make sure y'all say something in the comments. Let's talk about it. We're gonna throw a question out there on social media. Be looking out for that. But yeah, man, we finna get into the meat and potatoes of things. We got a lot. It's a lot that went on. So
yeah, a whole bunch. I'm gonna start it off with let's go with Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
So Dave Chappelle released a special on Netflix last week. It's called The Closer. Basically, this gonna wrap up his contract with Netflix of specials. So if you guys haven't watched it, it is very funny to me. Um, I laughed, and yeah, but he got into some controversial topics, as he usually does,
Yeah.
and he caught some backlash for it, man. He was talking about the trans community.
LGP,
It-
LGBTQ plus, I think is
yeah,
how we say it now. Yeah.
yeah, but he was saying, just talking about him, and asking, like, he said something about the baby and the
Hmm.
release of the baby. He wants to negotiate the release of the baby from the basically being blackballed from everything. Um, my initial thought of on it was, this is going to. I didn't think twice about what he was saying, right?
Hmm.
Like, it's a lot of times when, like, for me, if you're telling the truth,
Yeah.
you know, if you're telling the truth, I kind of like, okay, I get it if it's on the right platform. But the thing with Dave Chappelle is, first off, I don't believe that he cares, and I don't think that he should.
No, absolutely not.
you know, I don't think he's out here. I don't feel like he was malicious in what he was saying.
Mm, I
That's the
don't think
thing.
so either.
I don't think he was malicious in what he was saying, but I mean, like, everybody's not gonna like what you say, and everybody's not gonna like what you do. But I mean, the way I look at it, man, funny is funny.
Yeah. I think specifically the comments that got him some black backlash was that the baby comment about how in hip hop, they praise you for the violence, but then, nothing got canceled because of that. But then as soon as he said something that offended the
Be
LGBTQ
yeah.
plus community, all of a sudden he was just, everybody was like, he's the villain, cancel him, yada yada yada. Everyone's turning against him. So
But hold up. We talk about cancel culture and everything. We not finna cancel Dave Chappelle.
oh yeah, because everybody that's what they're saying.
Like,
We I
that's
mean he
not
didn't
finna happen, dog.
yeah, he didn't say nothing wrong. Like I don't understand why anyone's even I haven't seen the whole thing, so it may be more there, but from what I read, that was what got him and so
Yeah.
got him,
But
got critics up in arms. But I honestly don't think he said anything wrong. He said, he told the truth. And but in this lifestyle, if I can quote Charlemagne, the lie is more entertaining than the truth, you know.
yeah.
But he just telling you what happened. Really?
Right.
Which is exactly what happened. Like he shot a person in Walmart.
And nobody,
Nobody
and he didn't
like
get
nothing
canceled for that.
happened. He just kind of probably went, saying above and beyond. And then he says like a little, I don't want to say this wrong. No, you know what? He says this comment at a show, and now everybody's up in arms. I don't know, it's mind-boggling these days that they have so much. For one, that whole community has so much power in the media that everyone, what I'm saying, it is like once it happened, if they say something, it's like, all right, yeah, we can't fool with you, blah blah blah.
No, but
Eh,
you like, the thing about it is, like, while watching it, I
mhm.
would have to say that I'm like one of the most fair people. Like, I don't talk about people maliciously.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
gay friends.
Like, if I talk about somebody, they know that I'm talking about them, and they know that it's nothing um malicious about it.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
he was doing was, honestly, he was telling stories of things that happened to him,
hmm
and finding the humor in that. That's one. But then two, it's like people get upset with, it's like we're all walking on eggshells when we talk about certain topics. Like, when we talk about white people saying nigga, people start to walk on eggshells. But the first thing you got to realize is, that white people say
yeah. They better keep walking on eggshells.
it. That's the first thing you got to realize, that people say
Oh,
it.
they say it in their
Yeah.
they
They may not
private.
say it around you, but then also you have to be able to have that conversation
Mm-hmm.
with people, and which we talked about previously. I think we might have talked about it on Let's Discuss.
No, we talked about. Remember,
It was on
we
it was
talked
on
about it on our show. It was
yeah,
you
yeah.
and Greg, and that's when I was like, man, it's BS.
Yeah. Right.
But I think Greg said it best, man. We gotta sit down and have that conversation, not just automatic, like try to understand what someone's coming from.
Right.
I don't think that everyone's completely right or that everyone's completely wrong, man. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Either, you know what I'm saying? If we're not able to sit down and have a conversation, then yeah, you're gonna hear people speaking up. That, of course, that's what they're
Yeah.
gonna do until you're like, all right, let's have a conversation. Everybody, one group of people can have that much power, like
Mhm.
some
Like
you
it's,
gotta.
it's just man, when you look at it or when you think about it, like honestly, I don't even think about it because what people do in their sexual relationship or who they choose to date or how they choose to date ain't none of my business, because who I chose to marry is who I'm married to. That's my
Yeah,
relationship. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absolutely. Yeah.
Now if
But you
you
also people gotta understand that everyone's gonna have their own beliefs and opinions about
yeah.
all of that. So, you know.
Yeah, that's what my thing when it comes to comedy. I think you can put a censor on comedy, but you can't put a censor on it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things you should be able to. I think you shouldn't talk about people's kids.
It
You know what I'm saying?
depends. Some of that stuff
Right.
be
Like
funny.
that's the thing.
You
It's
got
like
some bad kids out here
man,
for real.
you do. But it's like certain things that just naturally you shouldn't talk about. But then certain things in comedy, especially if you're just telling a story about what happened to you, like nothing, if you think it's funny, okay, laugh. If you don't laugh, wait for the next joke.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it, but I don't think asking, because a lot of people were like asking Netflix to take it down, and I think they stepped up and was like in support of Dave Chappelle.
I think so, but I think they're gonna take it down.
I
I'm
hope
not
not, man.
sure.
I hope
I
not.
think from what I saw, they were talking about.
Bro, it
actually.
was funny, man.
Yeah, well, I
Like it
think
was
comics
funny.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, he especially knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think let comics comic. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
I don't
But I
think
think we need to start having that conversation because I don't want friends of mine being that are, what I'm saying, a part of that community being offended. But I need to know
yeah,
why. Like
yeah.
why? Because to
Why
me,
is this offensive?
he just told the truth. Like,
Yeah.
this is what happened, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
I don't
see
know,
what
man.
happens.
Yeah, we definitely gonna see what happens. But I think Dave Chappelle is such a gem in the community,
Absolutely.
in the world, that yeah, man, I think he's okay. Um moving right along, man. I just want to throw this out here. Silk Sonic actually has a release date for their album.
Yeah.
Um when is
November
it,
12th.
man? November 12th. I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I am waiting.
I'll be honest. I'm just waiting to see if it's gonna happen or not.
Like I think I think they got something with Silk Sonic.
Mhm.
The sound is so it embodies like 4 decades of music,
Yeah, it's amazing.
you know, and
Mhm.
like they're doing things, they're thinking out the box so much that it's like, yeah, you ready for this type of creativity, you know what I'm saying? So and I think they're both an awesome artist, separately.
Yeah.
Now you put two awesome artists together, I think they're gonna produce something amazing. So um I'm really curious to see if it's really gonna happen though. If
Yeah.
November 12th is the day that our ears will be pressed for joy by hearing this album.
Hey, I keep saying I'm hearing skate music, and I'm just
Bruh.
trying to go buy some skates. Y'all gonna see me skating down the street.
He gonna be skating backwards.
Yep, sure
Could
will.
you skate backwards, bro?
No,
I couldn't
I
do
gotta
that.
learn
I
that part.
barely could skate, man.
I can skate forward and I can turn the corner. So,
I have trouble turning.
and I finally figured out how to stop properly. So,
Did you?
yeah, Yeah.
I still haven't figured that part out. I usually just try to fall or something like that safely to stop.
Run into a wall.
Yeah, let the wall catch me a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, let me jump into this one real quick, man.
Let's
R.
go.
Kelly. R. Kelly, music
Yeah.
sales rose 500% following
Mhm.
his guilty verdict. I've been kind of staying away from R. Kelly, man, just because it's just a conversation we had previously, man. Like I don't know, man. He made great music, but then it's like, bro, you can't be forgiven for what you did.
Mm. Yeah.
Like it's like we talk about separating the artist from the art or the art from the artist,
Hmm.
and his music can't really be separated.
It depends, man, because I
You
can
get
listen
right,
to
right.
it
You
and
yeah,
not be bothered. Like I'm like, I can listen to the music and remember whatever memory I had with that music,
yeah,
and and I block out like, you know, what I'm saying what he's currently going through, because I don't know, I can just do it that way. I can just listen to the music for the music. Now I'll be honest, it does get to some of them parts where you be like, whoa, what did he say?
yeah.
And you be like, was
Is
he?
he talking about?
Yeah. Now, also, if you look at his guilty verdict, he's not convicted of child molestation. He's convicted of
Sex
other
trafficking.
stuff. Yeah, which is totally different, which is interesting. So, mm, but I mean, yeah, if y'all go back and check out the podcast that he's referring to is pretty old one about separating art versus the artistry. So go back and check
Yeah,
that one out.
that's one of the first ones we did, man.
Yeah. We gotta do it with G now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we got
yeah,
to go back
we
and,
had
and
some
listen
interesting
to a lot
insight.
of stuff with you.
Hmm.
Um, no, I just, I think R. Kelly, um, was a genius in his music making.
Hmm.
I think I don't agree with his lifestyle. And I don't get how so many people were okay with it. Not necessarily okay, but just let that ride.
Man, there's no telling. I
You
don't
know,
know. Yeah.
like from the stuff that people been saying, I honestly was so disappointed in it, and it's hard for me, like I said, to actually listen to his music without thinking about the crimes that he did.
Yeah.
Because like I remember looking at the video of what was the thing, he peed on that girl,
Oh
trying to figure,
yeah.
because I found out about it, watched the Boondocks, and then was like, where's this tape at? And looked
I
at it and was like, man, this is a child he's peeing on.
I watched it before. Like I think before Boondocks even came out. I remember when it was surfacing everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I
It's
was
like,
like, it was like in high school. But yeah,
yeah,
like
I
it's
didn't watch it till I was in college.
oh yeah, I watched it then.
Yeah,
But in which he wasn't convicted then either, which is interesting.
right.
I don't know, but I guess I think what happens is because people are gonna be like, why are people? You know, people like I really haven't listened to much R. Kelly since he went to jail,
Hmm.
and really it's just because it's out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah,
and I haven't just thought about even pressing play like naturally. But then when he's back in front of front and center, then I think a lot of people then remember R. Kelly and then go, saying let's to music. So it's just a remembrance thing, you know,
yeah, yeah,
something that happens naturally.
yeah. I guess you're right, Steve.
Yeah, because we're talking about him now.
Yeah, yeah. It
And
is. It
somebody's
is
gonna
true.
probably go listen and whatever.
Yeah, and have their thoughts. Separating the art versus
Yeah,
artistry.
because we can
From the
never get an R.
artist.
Kelly versus.
No, we definitely would. And YouTube, Google removed his stuff, like his official pages and stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
off of YouTube.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. Now you see something wrong with it.
Yeah.
So all this time,
What now?
right? Because
Like leave it. We.
he was convicted of it. That's
I
why.
would like to go and remember this stuff. Like go
Ah, that's
see
funny.
some of this stuff. Like just. I mean, other folks gonna post it. You can't never get away from it. So
Like you got albums and all this other stuff, man. People like
yeah.
it. If you want to listen to R. Kelly music, it's still available to listen to. It's just you have to go to different heights to go listen to it now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, musically, he'll never. I don't think you
man,
can
me
erase him
like
musically.
to let's be honest, man. This dude made music for everybody that like you listen to his music and you're gonna dance. You're
Hmm.
gonna, there's a time where you was like, yeah, this is on my playlist. R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that. Yeah, his genius in music is amazing. But
Yeah,
it's just his outside his
everything
everyday
outside.
life
Yeah, absolutely.
is what taints his music, man. So
Kind of wish it was somebody that just to be like, bro, what? No, shit
somebody
don't.
else take the fall.
Well, not take the fight. You know,
Somebody
it's
that's not as big as he was or
no, just somebody
impactful.
there that was like, bro,
Oh, to tell
come on,
him, come on, bro,
yeah,
stop.
like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I wish
Like,
somebody was there to do that.
oh, they even stop it even before it start, but
Yeah.
so,
But anyway, I want to stay on this topic of cancel culture, quote
okay,
unquote.
let's go.
Um,
The
I
cancel
bring this,
episode.
yeah, yeah, that's what we call it. Um, so we was forced to defend herself after she was dragged on Twitter for something Too Short said.
Mm,
Um, basically, I'm gonna paraphrase this because it goes into a bigger topic when it comes to black women.
mm-hmm.
Basically, Too Short was, I guess they were on live or something with each other, having a conversation, and basically, Too Short was like, I've like he didn't find anything wrong with asking the girl like what she mixed with.
Oh yeah,
You remember the original interview or something?
yeah, it was something like that. Because at first I was like, what was it that he did?
Yeah,
And now
like
that you
they,
bring it up,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
he was saying that he was attracted to biracial women because he
Yep.
lived in the Bay, and out there, always somebody is never a person that's mixed with that's just fully black or
Yeah, they always
she's
mix with
mixed with
something.
something.
Hmm.
And Saweetie was just, I guess she was just talking and laughing about it. She had something, I can't remember what the big issue about colorism was for her in the past, but it was another issue with colorism as well that came up with her name. Um Basically her response to everything was, let me see, what was her response? Black women are beautiful. She said, Adam started flooding her mentions in the full clip 28 actually replied, Black women are beautiful, period. Um, she had addressed the issue before. Do you think dark skinned women can be pretty? To which she said, I was raised by dark skinned women, so I find this question insulting. I don't think they can be pretty. I think they are pretty. The fan who posted, I think somebody had posted that.
Hmm.
Or she said it, but they had retweeted it or whatnot. Um, this thing of colorism, man, and like I tell my wife all the time, I think she's beautiful. Um, and I tell her all the time that I think women of whatever color, whatever, you know, creed or whatnot, I think women are special to the world, you know, to the
Yeah.
human population because um everybody must come through someone to get here. And the process of producing a child for me to be able to see it from day one and experience it, now it's truly amazing, man, to see a baby grow, to see the pains that they go through, to see everything they go through. And then for black women, the initial thing of colorism, right?
Hmm.
Black women, I feel like had it worse than anybody in the United States, anybody in the world. Just because one, they were women, two, they were black. You know, um, women were treated as a secondhand citizen for so long, and then on top of everything else, you're a black woman. So, and we come in black people come in so many shades. It's like, dog, you can't put one over the other. I don't feel like it's like women, period, to me are beautiful. Black women to me are especially beautiful because they are the closest thing to me in
Mm-hmm.
woman form. If I was a woman, I would be a black woman.
Yeah.
So um I just feel bad for Saweetie when it comes to situations like this because I don't believe that she's intentionally trying to be a colorist or anything like that. I just think she just catches bad heat for that, man. I think she's just trying to make a buck with with rapping.
Yeah. Now I just really figured out who she was. So I'm being honest. I
Yeah,
really did
yeah, I
not know
feel
who
you,
she
man.
was.
I feel you.
But looking at it, and I think this is one of those situations where I think they blew his comment out of proportion,
Oh, for sure.
and
Yeah.
really, it was no reason for anyone to even talk about it because all he said was he's never dated a fully black woman. Growing up in the Bay, every woman is mixed with something.
Hmm.
That's his experience, and
Right.
it could be true. So I don't think he's putting nothing out there to be like, you know, like I don't think it was hateful at all.
Like
So I
black
think
women
this
not.
is, yeah. I don't think he said that at all. He just said I never dated a fully black woman because in the Bay everyone mixed with something. I mean that could be possibly true. And as far as Sweetie, I think this is a situation of like wrong place, one time because
Yeah.
she's not wrong either at all. But I think sometimes you're looking at you like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't think he meant for the comment to go blow out of proportion, but and I don't think that she deserves the backlash that she getting because she's not wrong. And at the same time, if that's what I'm saying, Too Short's experience, that's his personal experience. He's not wrong. I
Hmm.
think sometimes, yeah, I think sometimes we need to know when not to speak.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing wrong with, but at the same time, when you're a high profile person, like oh, excuse me, like she is, then when you do speak, you know damn well somebody gonna listen.
Yeah.
So,
And what she says is gonna be taken out of context, man. It's kind of like it's unfair, you know.
mhm,
But then it's like, what are you trying to gain?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you point that out, and then you're trying to gain what? Like, what do you truly gain from that? Because obviously, she's not thinking that way. You
Is
know,
she?
I don't
She
know.
mixed with something?
I don't know. She probably is. I don't know.
I'm just so confused by the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, while we're on the topic of race,
Let's go.
John Gruden in
Oh
this
my
email with the
goodness.
Raiders,
Yeah.
um, I didn't pay much attention to it, man, just because I was like, they like 2011. This is an email from 2011 was sent to I don't know who he sent it to, but he basically said something racist towards a black um exec for the Raiders at the time. It
Mm,
was during the lockout for the NFL,
mm-hmm.
and he was working at a high school, like coaching high school football.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know how you should feel. I was looking at Randy Moss's response to it. Randy Moss was really upset, and Randy Moss was saying that he needed to, and I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting him word for word, but he was basically saying he's disappointed in Gruden and the NFL. Basically, the NFL needs to do something about it. I honestly don't know how I feel about that, man.
I'm looking for
I'm trying to figure out what he actually
exactly
said.
what he said because I'm thinking, uh, and I didn't look at the Randy Moss response. I see it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is you're in I know NBA is, you know what I'm saying, African American dominated. NFL is kind of that same way.
Yeah,
So when you're coaching and talking to these men of color and then something like this comes out, you know, in the NFL it's a respect issue. This ain't like college ball where they all call you coach. No, they call you by your first name. And your respect is earned, not given. Whether you're a coach, GM, or whoever the hell. So yeah, it's 2011, and it says here that he's been trying to apologize for it. But the thing is, and I think even Derek Carr was actually speaking up for him, saying that the team is, you know, what I'm saying, behind him.
yeah,
But the thing is this, you know, it's one of them things where it's like, all right, show me how you really feel, and then you do, and then it's like you're trying to apologize for it, and it's like, why are you trying to apologize for it when you really feel this way? You know, yeah, it's a heinous thing. You know, definitely like email, really, like you really want it to be seen if you're gonna
right,
take it
right,
down.
right.
You know, and I like and I like Jay Gruden like a lot. I really do. But this right here is something that kind of breaks my heart, but at the same time, it's like the N-word situation. You know, they say it behind closed doors, but you know, it sucks when you find out someone like that would say something like that. Now, can people change? I do. I am a firm believer that people can change, but is, you know, but when you rear that ugly head, you know, you say, you know, say something like that. I wish I could find. I wish we could see exactly what he say.
I think I found something. Hold on.
Because from this, it says the past week, Jay Gruden, John Gruden, was exposed for a new article from the Wall Street Journal, where he has revealed that he sent a racist email about DeMarcus Smith to the former general manager
Mm-hmm.
of the Washington football team. Smith is the executive director of the NFLPA, and at the time he was negotiating the lockout. Gruden didn't like how he was going about it, and it led to some unfortunate sentiments that uh, perpetrated negative stereotypes. My thing is, yeah, man, just, I don't know. I just hate it. Like, just watch your mouth, man. Like, seriously. Like, because the thing is, if you get upset again, are you gonna do the same thing? You know?
Well, the thing that I'm looking at is I don't think his job should be in jeopardy, right? I don't honestly I don't think the NFL, like Gruden or anybody, should be like not Gruden, but Goodell should be like, yeah, he has to go. Blah, just because not he didn't work for the NFL when he sent that email. Um,
Yeah.
that's one thing. The second thing is I think the Raiders organization, players included,
Hmm.
should actually have a say in what happens with him, um, and stuff when it comes to that. It's another thing too that I always think about, um, when we like how do we forgive people in situations like that? Because none of us are perfect, right? And I'm not
Hmm.
trying to defend him in no type of way, or anything like that. But none of us are perfect, and we try to respect each other as much as possible. And we've all said some disrespectful and some things that we wish to apologize for and stuff like that. How do you move forward as an organization, as a player? If you were a player on that team, how do you move forward? Because you're not gonna give up your check to not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um. I- My thing is this, man. There's got to be consequences.
Yeah,
You know. Now whether it's I don't know about his job because it's over 10 years ago, and I
yeah.
mean, but you know, um, I don't know, man. It's
It's
always a
hard,
tough
right?
one because me being a black man, I'm like when hey when it comes out, I'm like I'm glad because it's telling sometimes. Now I can be like, all right. I knew you like yeah, some of the stuff you did in the past. Now I can see. Now, do I believe people can learn from their mistakes, which is what Derek Carr was actually talking about. You know, he had a meeting with the team. He told them, hey, you know, he got to learn from his mistakes and all that, and taught them a variable life lesson. Good, I think that's great. Uh, and it just it's hard in this situation because I don't want to think. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna say
It's
that
hard, man.
because
It's
because
tough.
yeah, it is.
It's tough to
It's one of the things.
it's like, man, your coach. A lot of times your coach is like a parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And in a sense, for a professional athlete, that's their leader. You know, and for their leader to have like a bad mark, it's like, does that make him a bad leader? You start to question things like that. You start to question, am I being a bad person for like believing in this person? Am I, you start questioning things about yourself. Because most of the time you can tell a racist person by the conversation that they're having.
yeah. But
Um,
no, I ain't gonna say that. You got some man.
bruh,
They can do some
you
pretty good
can,
community stuff. I mean, it'll come out,
yeah,
and I think that's what happened here.
right. It'll come
And
out, bruh.
I this is my thing. I can't. So far, I can't even find exactly the email or
I
exactly
just
what he
I just
said.
sent you something in the Slack that it basically is summing up what he said.
But all I know is the NFL said it was appalling, and you know, and uh,
Well,
and
they have
just
to say that.
yeah, but
They had like whatever because first off, they wasn't the ones that put it out, right? They saw it and it was flagged.
yeah, it said
You know, he
The NFL statement said that the email from John Gruden denigrated DeMarcus Smith is appalling. Denigrating DeMarcus Smith is appalling, uh, um, abhorrent, and wholly contrary. Did I say that right? To the NFL's values. We condone this. We condemn the statement and regret any harm that is publications may
when was that statement made?
inflict. This is from Adam Schefter. It was October 8th when they
2021,
yeah,
and
when
his
they made that
email
statement.
came out in 2011.
Yeah, you know, it was
So
10
10
years.
years ago. Like, yeah, the NFL is just saying something to get ahead of this backlash. Because just imagine if the NFL never said anything. And I think the Times had, not the Times, what is it? Who reported this first? The Washington Post? Oh, Wall
Yeah,
Street Journal
Wall Street Journal.
had reported it first. And so they have to say something to keep um to protect the shield, as they would say, which is the NFL shield.
But also, if it never would have been leaked,
They never would have
then
been
well,
like
they
they.
would have never known. But
Who
then, what
wouldn't have?
does the NFL? If it was well,
The
no, it
NFL
was
knew that. Like the
well, yeah,
NFL
I
has
guess
known
so.
about this for 10 years. They flagged the email.
Yeah, in an email, in an alleged email, Gruden said, "Was
He
it
said like five of them were flagged.
Dummerus Smith has lips the size of Michael Michelin
Michelin
tires."
tires.
These comments were written to former Washington football team general manager Bruce Allen. Okay, so this is my thing. For one, you wrote it with without a care in the world. So this is how you really feel. The whole thing about not having a racist bone and all that blah 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 is BS because you kind of you went to the extent of whatever it was that you had to say and you was feeling emotional. Yeah, emotion got the best of you. You said what you said, but the fact that I kind of see what it was said. This for one, the stereotype that all black folks got black lips, yada yada yada. Uh, man, I
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
hard, man. It's tough.
I'm
it's
just
it's a
I
tough
putting
situation.
even though I like him, But putting that out, that's disheartening. And
But
whatever you get, you need to get.
like, yeah, I mean, like that's with any um decision you make in life. You know, it's like
Yeah.
whatever you make, there's a consequence for it. What like there's a cause and effect for everything you do, and you know, be it positive or negative. Um, you know, you're gonna get what you put out in the world, and the thing for
DeMarcus Smith walked up to you and punched you in the mouth, swelled up your lip. That's what you deserve. Like,
right.
I get that it's old, but sometimes it being old doesn't, doesn't disqualify it. Because now it's come to the light. So yeah, you had to meet with the team. You got to learn from your lesson. But I'll be honest with you. Uh, I think there's gonna be some consequence. I don't know if it's your job or what, but the thing is, you're in a leadership position over African American males.
And that's the thing.
And hopefully you're not being, you can say you don't have a racist bone in your body, but that's pretty, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it's I don't know, man. It's just that's a tough situation, man. 'Cause I'll just be thinking about um, like the explanation he gave, you know, for it, and then on top of everything else, the NFL knew about this.
Yeah. And I mean, that's on the NFL because now stuff got leaked. And hey, how you doing?
Yeah, right,
And
right, right.
and you know what? They
Oh,
probably
you heard about that? Oh, okay. Nah, we ain't
now
like that.
they could have handled this in house
Yeah,
somehow, and that's fine if it was
but
handled in house at that time.
but think about this too, bruh. The Raiders hired him back in 2018, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
10 years for $100 million. The NFL allowed that, knowing that that email was there.
Yeah, that's true. I
So
don't
come
know,
on, man.
man.
It's like
Yeah,
what do you do as the player? That's the thing. It's like you know they met up with each other and tried to like really investigate the seriousness of this. You know, as
I kind of
far
hope
as
he punched him in his mouth.
he didn't, man. That's the executive. That's like no,
That's true. Sorry,
he's
sorry,
not gonna
y'all.
do that, man. At
I,
some point, like you're like punching somebody in the mouth is not gonna get you to where you need to be.
I know,
Um,
but still,
you was just feeling that way. You just
yeah,
felt it right
I'm
then
kind
and
of
there.
feeling that way right now. I mean, I'm sure, and then tomorrow I'll be like, I ain't gotta
Yeah,
punch him in the mouth.
right, right.
Guess what? Here you go. Now you work through all that. But right now, sure, you look at it, it does bring up. So why Cap ain't playing no more?
Yeah,
And I'm gonna leave it
yeah.
at that.
Cap should have been playing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how.
I'm
That's
gonna leave
that's
it.
what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Um, man, did you watch the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight?
I caught the tail end of it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch the
But
entire
you're
thing.
into
I was
like
at a wedding.
boxing and MMA and all this stuff, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I was pretty
Yeah.
disappointed.
It's not really interesting to me. Why was you disappointed?
I wanted him to win. I wanted Wilder to win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think he could beat him.
I think
Like
he can. 'Cause I think he beat him in the very first fight that they had.
yeah, by decision though, right?
Nah, you could go back and look at that fight. 'Cause I watched that fight. He knocked Fury out,
Did
and
he?
then they did the whole weird count thing. Fury jumped up, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was I forgot what the ruling was, but it was by decision. But I mean, it came down to the cards. But nah, I think he can, but
Yeah.
as far as now, like it was a whole controversy about the second fight. I really don't know
What
too much
happened in the
about it.
second fight?
Well, there was a whole claims that his gloves was padded
Who,
and all
Fury
that
or
loaded Fury.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So you got
Were they?
that, and then also the whole narrative leading up to this fight. Like he was trying not to even fight this fight, Fury, and they had to go to court so that Wilder could get his rematch and all of that. And then you get to the, you go through all that, and then now it's time to fight, and you lose. And which this fight also still has some like sketchy stuff. This whole thing about the slow count, which was extremely slow. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
didn't make sense how slow this count was, which everybody agrees that Fury benefited from it,
Yeah.
from the slow count. So and then you get so it seemed this whole trilogy has had some type of uh some type of controversy all the way through it. Now, was the fight, what I'm saying, one for the history books? Absolutely.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and what I heard people say. But yeah, I definitely wanted Wilder to win. But I mean, Fury ain't no slouch, man. He's a great
Obviously,
fighter.
I would say obviously he's not a slouch, man.
Nah,
Sitting up,
he's a great fighter. He's got a great comeback story of what all that he's been through. But I was definitely pulling for Wilder at the time. But man, yeah, Tyson Fury, man, you gotta give credits what credits due.
yeah,
He came out there and did his thing
one.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I said, man, I'm not really into like boxing and MMA, but the big ones I kind of pay attention to.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This was the biggest name for boxing.
Yeah.
Like to be
Well,
honest with you,
I say the biggest thing for the heavyweight division.
like what other like okay, yeah, for the heavyweight division, but I mean like
Because there's been
people
a
want
lot of great other boxing matches.
it
Like you
has,
got
but
one coming up with Canelo and Plant. Canelo and Triple G was amazing. Was a
yeah,
great trilogy there. Mayweather, I mean, Money May, like,
but it started
I
like
mean, you got a lot of stuff.
for me with Mayweather, it was kind of like it wasn't interesting. You start hoping that he just loses,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, when I hope a boxer loses, because not because the other boxer is more skilled, but because I dislike the person for how he carries himself as a boxer, I was like, this ain't a reason to be a fan of the
Of the
thing.
sport.
It's yeah, of the sport. And
Uh,
I started trying to like, okay, skill for skill, like this boxer should win or this boxer should lose. Um, and it's like, man, you get to this fight, this Tyson Fury fight. I didn't see it. I just saw the highlights of it, man. And you got 5 knockdowns with a knockout.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I want to see stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
you also gotta put in mind, like, me and my homeboy Faye was sitting there talking about it. If Wilder had any type of defense, he would have had a way better chance of winning that fight. He
Right.
would have went the distance. He would have won. But
Yeah. Would he
and
have
that's the thing.
won
Like
if
a lot of people want to see this knockout drag out. But
yeah,
like the reason why I like Mayweather so much is because he understood defense.
yeah,
And the sweet science of actually fighting in the ring isn't it doesn't have to be a drag out slug fight to the end. Yes, that's exciting, but at the end of the day, I'm here to collect checks. I'm here to beat you. So guess what? I'm gonna implement some defense, shoulder roll, pop you, get to the other side of the ring. I'm here to win.
yeah,
I don't. I'm here to collect check, and then as a result of that, shoot, Mayweather became the biggest thing since sliced bread. Not only that, shoot, he brought that money in, made it to
yeah.
where boxers could make some really big money. As far as Wilder and Fury, heavyweights, it's interesting because it is kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
knockout drag dog fight, and like that's cool and it's exciting, but at the same time, I can't discredit the person who learns this game and figures out the cheat code. You gotta give them their respect too. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you become the villain, cool. Y'all just gonna keep paying them pay-per-view buys and filling them seats to see who can beat me.
I stopped.
You know, you stop, but then somebody else, what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah,
came up in your place.
yeah.
But looking at, but I looked at that and I respect and I love to see that form of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bored with just the, what I'm saying, I probably got too smart to it and just got bored with the whole knock, dog fight. And it's like, dude, just put your arms
Well,
up.
it was
Get out
it
the
was
corner.
right. It
Keep
was
your hands
almost
up. What are you doing? You deserve to get knocked out. That's what you get. Like, that's what you get. What did you expect to happen?
Right. It's almost like you know how people get bored with like say take the Patriots. A lot of people don't like the Patriots because they keep winning.
Tim Duncan.
Tim
I
Duncan
mean,
didn't like Tim Duncan. Well, I
big
love
fundamental.
I love Tim Duncan. I just thought the Spurs were boring.
The same thing.
The
I mean, who's
Warriors.
the centerpiece?
Yeah.
And the Warriors are actually exciting.
The Warriors are exciting, but a lot of people didn't like them because they kept winning.
A lot of people didn't like them because they were,
but they were the most developed team.
Yeah, they were homegrown.
Outside of KD, they were a developed team.
Like they wanted to keep saying they're a super team.
No, they're not. They've
never been. They just acquired KD and they balling. But you know, going back to the Fury and Wilder fight, I think it was spectacular because we haven't seen something like that in a long time.
We haven't seen heavyweights fight
heavyweight. So that's why I say it was good for the heavyweight division. As far as overall boxing, yeah, it was exciting, but you ain't gonna go in there every night and like looking back at it, there was some really sloppy moments.
Do you think?
But you know,
I was gonna say, would like boxing standing next to MMA can't last, right?
What you mean by standing next to?
I mean, because like in competition of.
Well, at this point, there is no competition.
Yeah,
MMA is been taken over for the last, I want to say 5 years.
Yeah,
until like you get a big fight like Mayweather or, you know, saying the Wilder versus Tyson, Wilder himself, because for so long Wilder was just bodying people, or you know, saying Canelo and Triple G and things like that. Like boxing hasn't stood a chance in so long. Like a lot of people haven't been watching boxing in so long. Not like that. As far as MMA, a lot of people have gravitated that because you had Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, Nate Diaz, you know, Nate and Nick, and you got Masvidal, and you had a lot of people become stars. And also it was, you know, it was, even though MMA is a little more, I would say MMA is more brutal, but it doesn't last as long.
Yeah,
you know, 5-minute rounds, most of the time it's 3. And they kept, you know, kept it going. So, you know, your undercard be like 3 5-minute rounds. Somebody might get knocked out in the first 20 seconds and it's over. Instead of in boxing, you get knocked down, you get a count of 10, and you're able to keep fighting, and it may go the distance. Whereas, you know, hey, somebody get knocked out, is on to the next. Or is a little more exciting because there is more things to do. You know, you can take somebody to the ground. It is boring moments in MMA as well, but as far as them, they don't stand next to each other at all. MMA has definitely went to a whole nother stratosphere, whereas boxing right now is trying its best to catch up. Cause
like, do you think it's because of the fighters, or do you think it's just because of MMA being more, I don't want to say violent, but more action?
I would
see you like that.
Okay, no, that's actually perfect. I would say it's more of, so in boxing you got so many different like things going on, right? So you have the WBA and the,
I don't know, bro.
The other one.
I'm gonna just agree with you.
Exactly. You have so many different things going on. Whereas, so in MMA, you have different, like in boxing, you have Top Rank, then there was Golden Boy, then you got all this, and then you got the, you know, the different belts from different places, and nothing's unified. So it's harder to follow a story. Whereas in MMA, you do have the different brands. You got Bellator, and you got UFC, and you got bare knuckle fighting. But if we're really looking at it, UFC is the top of the top, and that's what everybody watches. So when you go to watch, when you think of MMA, you think of UFC. That's no disrespect for the Bellator. I like Bellator, but UFC is that top tier. So when you go there, you can see it's clear stories. It's easy to follow, and it's like it's not too many people. The belts make sense. It's not like this belt from this part, this belt. It was clear. And then also you combine that with action as well. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
would you say that this fight would go down in history, like how we know about the Rumble in the Jungle? Who was it? Sugar Ray and Hitman. Do you say that this fight would go down as one of those that will be remembered in time,
Yeah,
like those classic fights, and
yeah.
one day we'll be sitting back remembering, like, hey, we remember when that happened.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
is that
And yeah.
is there rivalry like that, or got the
Yeah.
makings of that? Because that's what I feel like
Yeah.
boxing is missing.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't just a bunch of random folks, fighting one another. And I think UFC does a great job of telling the story. And I think in boxing, this one specifically is going to go down in history as probably one of the greatest heavyweight fights or trilogies of all time. Just because of the story that it tells, people got invested, everything that happened in between and around it. And also, I don't think this is the last time they're gonna fight unless unless Wilder retires. I don't think Fury's gonna, going
You
away
think he
anytime
gonna retire?
soon.
Is that something he was talking about doing, or like I haven't heard
Nah,
anything
oh
from
Wilder.
Wilder? Yeah, I haven't heard anything from
I
him.
have.
What
Wilder
did
just
he?
said that, he tried his best, but his best wasn't good enough that night. And you know what I'm saying? They talked a little bit about slow count, but he ain't said too much, but that's what he said. It was just like his best wasn't good enough that night to get the job done. So because of Wilder, his strength, his power, everything they can do, I don't think this is the last time that they'll fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it would have to be one of them two would have to like retire or leave the sport.
Yeah,
So not just Wilder, but Fury as well. You never know. Next couple days, Fury could be like, "Yeah, I retired," blah blah blah. But I think they'll fight again. And if it doesn't, fine. But I think if Wilder comes back out, fights again, and you know what I'm saying, because he hadn't fought in 20 months. I don't think
yeah,
neither one of them have. And just the story that they told with this, man, I think it could happen again. But we'll see where both parties go from there. Who does Fury go on to fight next? Or
mm-hmm.
when is he gonna fight next?
Because it's
Who does
almost
Wilder
like
go on?
it's just like 2, 3 heavyweights, 4 heavyweights
Yeah, and
that.
that's the problem with it. Like with boxing, we don't like. We're like, who do you invest in? There's only so many. Whereas,
Mm-hmm.
MMA and UFC specifically, like you got that. Like you can, they're clear. You can see who they are. You know who the stars are. You know this and that, and they go out there and they do their thing. And plus, it's easier to see too. Like, yeah, but it's boxing like everywhere, and I have no idea. It's
Yeah,
so many. It's hard to invest because there's so much. It's kind of like me in college sports. I
yeah,
don't have a college team except for MTSU because I went to MTSU.
yeah.
Because there's so many teams, I'm like, I don't know who to invest in. Like, why? I don't have a clue.
Yeah,
I just like to
yeah,
watch college football. And, it's boxing kind of the same way. It's like, all right,
yeah.
I know who this guy is. So, and then who, certain people here, but it's so many fighters out there. And it takes a minute for them to come up in the rank. So, yeah.
Man, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what's the next big fight for the boxing realm. Um, I like the big fights. It's just kind of like just knowing what's going on. But I ain't no huge boxing or MMA fighting fan. But I am a fan of the
Yeah.
Boston Celtics. And this next
Uh,
piece, bruh, like this thing here, it made me sad because so many Celtics were named in this thing. But this past week, uh 18 former NBA players were charged in $4 million healthcare fraud scheme. So basically, these players um were basically claiming to have gotten work done using the NBA's health insurance and basically getting reimbursed for work that never was done. Um, and it's
what work?
18. It was like it's different things. I'm trying to see can I figure out what it was, but what's anywhere I'm on 19. Oh, and it was one wife of
Yeah, I saw that.
Tony Allen. was named in this, and his wife. That's messed up. Um, it doesn't say. Well, I don't know. I haven't read like what work they was getting done and stuff like that. Um, they all face charges of conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud and aggravated identity fraud. Um, what they say so far, 16 of the 18 players charged are in federal custody. I can't even imagine what or why these players would do that. Not outside of the fact that they could get away with it at that moment.
I don't know. I think I just don't know. Like it is the most it's the most mind-boggling story because when you see who's in there, you're just kind of like, why? Like, but I think what happens is people, and this is alleged, people what's next after people when they leave the sport. Uh, if you don't have your finances in order, we've seen a lot of people go broke. So it is
What they were
all I can
playing.
think is money. You said what they were playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were.
They were playing.
I think somebody was getting away with it and they wanted to try
That's
it.
that's the thing. That's the
It
thing.
says that Terrence Williams has been accused of recruiting other NBA players into the scheme, received around 230,000 in payments from other players in return for providing them with allegedly false invoices. I think people just getting away with it, and it was like you can do this doctor sign off, and you can get this money, and I really
bro, it's just greed, man.
yeah, I think
it's like
stupid story, man.
Yeah, it's like it came out of nowhere too, bro.
Yeah, it was
like
boom,
just hit it. Whoa, what is this? Like I didn't even know they was investigating stuff like that, but I guess that's why it came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like that shit. It's crazy to even imagine that that's what was going on. And not to be in those guys' pockets or anything, but I don't know what the league minimum was at the time, but I know that these players were at least making whatever the league minimum was.
Yeah.
Which is more than majority of America.
Yeah, I mean Sebastian. I don't know about Sebastian Telfair, but
these wasn't scrubs that was doing
Big
this,
Baby
man.
Davis is in this as well, right? So he's like, Tony Allen, Darius Miles. Like those just the bigger names.
Like those are bigger names, so they wasn't getting paid the minimum.
Yeah,
it's like it's like, man, just
do what you're supposed to do. Bro.
Yeah, just like at that point, it's like why do that?
Yeah, like come on, man.
You like because you can get away with it and it was wrong, doesn't mean you should do it. And it's not that you got away with it; it's you just got away with it at that moment. Because now you're having to face the charges. That's the thing that we talk about with decisions.
John Gruden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exact same thing. Just different stuff.
Exact same thing, except it wasn't racist.
Yep.
So do you hold that at the same standard?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, okay. He said, yeah, sure. Why not? All right.
Yeah, like sure. Yeah, it's consequences for y'all. Should be consequences for him as well.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah. I feel you, brother.
Former Celtic.
Right. I hate that too, man. Like, dog, it was like, man, you saw it, and then I was like, I hope it wasn't nobody big. And then I was like, I hope it wasn't a Celtic. And then all you hear is I think it was like 3 or 4 Celtics on there that I saw. I was like, dang.
I was like, oh.
And that was when I was really rooting for them.
Yeah. They were happy. They were getting this money.
I still love the Celtics, man. Shout out to the Celtics, man.
Yeah. But from some older Celtics to a former Celtic that is now a Brooklyn Net. Let's talk about this guy a little bit.
This guy here, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, you want to almost just be like, bro, just get the vaccine, man. Come on, man. but you understand. I get his stance,
Hmm.
and it's a tough place for him to be. But I sometimes I don't understand his fight.
Absolutely. This is one that I wonder. Like we kind of spoke on. Uh, we haven't, but I have in my group chats, and we just kind of like at this point we're just kind of annoyed with them. Like it's always something, and I get it. I don't want to ever take somebody's choice away, but at the same time, you sign this contract for, what I'm saying, millions of dollars to play, and I get it. It's a shot, whatever. I understand, but once again, there's consequences behind it, and uh, you kind of when you got other folks getting the shot, like you're not gonna be the guy to change things. Like Steve Nash already said, yeah, we're kind of prepared to play without him at home games. Like it's like, oh my goodness. Like I get it, but at some point it's like, yo,
It's
what you,
like
what
it's
you gonna do?
almost
Like I almost want to say, just walk away from the game, man. Just
yeah.
retire
I
or
I
something.
think I think I hate to see that because I think he has a lot to offer to the game, but it's almost like you kind of want to be past him because like even after the game, what do you see him doing? Because it's crazy because you don't look at him as a well, I personally don't look at him as a Colin Kaepernick guy.
No, this is different from that. This is it's it seems more of like a lot of personal choices.
Yeah,
And I get it. Like Draymond Green said something. He was like, if your wife was pregnant, I wouldn't tell you not to go to a hospital to see your wife. And it's kind of like, that's his outview, his look on it, and he doesn't, want to do it. So we kind of respect the decision. And who are any of us to tell him different? I get it. But also if it's, like a mandate, we need it done to keep people safe, then you also gotta remember there's consequences behind it too.
yeah.
Like let's take Ben Simmons. He wasn't showing up for practice. They took his money that he was owed and they put it in the escrow. You ain't gonna get this till you show up.
hmm I was wondering what they was gonna do with his money.
He started showing up. So
Yeah,
I guess he's getting his money now. But it's like, I get it, man. But I really get it. You want your choice or whatever. But
but it's almost like, is it worth the fight? Is
yeah,
it worth what you're giving up?
yeah. It's like the one kid in the classroom that just, bro, the whole class is straight. We trying to go on this field trip. We trying to, whatever. Can you just be quiet for 1 second
Yeah,
so that we can do what we got to do? And it's like, no. Like, and I get it. Like, stand up for your right, whatever. But bro, at some
I,
point,
bro,
my
and
goodness.
and the
He's
other
been at the
thing,
center of more stuff.
right,
Like,
unnecessary stuff at that.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like, bro, you look at it from this standpoint too, or this is my take on it. Is if he was playing for Cleveland before LeBron got there, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
understand the hoopla behind it. Oh, Kyrie Irving is not playing because he don't want this mandate. Bro, you are playing for the Nets, who are basically has been positioned to win the title, to be a contender for the title for these last 2 years.
Mhm.
The only reason y'all didn't win last year was because of injuries.
Yeah, which was you're a
Nobody
part of
was
that.
gonna beat you guys.
Mm-mm.
So you mean to tell me you're like, I don't want to even call it selfish, man, because I understand it's your decision, it's your body, you know. But you think about it in the sense of like the abortion situation. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
women's bodies. That's their decision. But it's like, bruh, like you play in the NBA, something you fought to do all your life to get there. You know it wasn't easy getting there. You're there, and now what do you do with it? You're literally in control of how many championships you win.
Oh yeah, because bro,
Bruh, they got
I,
KD, James Harden,
you
and
got
him.
everybody.
Like, come on, man. And bro, they bench ain't bad either.
No. It's I don't know, man.
Is he
I just
replaceable? Yes. Kyrie
oh yeah.
Irving is definitely replaceable, but would he be a great help to Brooklyn in bringing home the champion? Because could you imagine like them in the finals and he can't play at the home games?
And that's what it seemed like it's gonna be. Like I need to know what's your base of why you don't want to.
Right. He
It's a
said it's
lot
a
of people.
moral reason.
What is it? Like what is it? And your choice is your choice. I can't criticize you, but at some point it's you have an obligation, man. And if don't be mad if they decide to fire you. I honestly think, hey, what's the
It'd,
point of him being there?
bro, it'd have been one conversation with me. You got until X amount of days to get this thing done. If you don't get it done, we're gonna have to let you go.
Yeah.
That's it. That would have been the cold conversation, and I'd have been done with everything. And it wouldn't have been a bunch of. And I understand why. Like we're sitting up here talking about it. It's big news. Because I mean that could change the trajectory of where they are. I think we're still gonna come out with the same outcome, but um, if they can stay healthy. But
Yeah.
I mean, like it's enough guards out here that's they not Kyrie, but they ain't no scrub.
They can fit on that team and ball.
They can definitely go to that team and ball out.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just hope whatever he decides, he makes the decision for him and not for anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's honestly a lot of the stuff that Kyrie has been in the news about. Like the thing that bothered me the most about Kyrie Irving was when his team was playing, he decided to take 2 weeks off. Or
And at that point, it's kind
that
of
bothered
like,
me.
yeah, at that point, it's kind of like, yeah, you're a selfish piece of trash.
Yeah. So it's like whatever reasoning you're doing this for, I hope it's for you and not to prove a point of something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Be ready for whatever the consequences is
Right,
behind it.
because if I was the one in charge, man, he wouldn't be playing for me this year.
Yeah.
He'd be off the team. I would be like, this is what I'm thinking. I would talk to the team and get their opinion about it. I'd talk to the coach, get their opinion about it. But I would tell them, hey, he has until this day to get vaccinated. If he does not, he is gone.
Yeah. Especially if everyone else is like,
Right.
what am I gonna do with you?
If he's the only player that's not vaccinated, I gotta let him go
Yeah.
in that sense. But yeah. Um, I want to end it with Nas.
Let's go. Let's end on some good stuff.
Listen, Nas is going to be teaching the master class. You can go online. It's like you can go online and sign up for his class, and it's the art of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so dope and so fitting for him to actually be teaching this to people that sign up for the class. I was like, oh, it'd be nice to sign up for it, but I don't know how much it costs or anything, but I just
Hey.
probably wouldn't. But I'm gonna look into it though. But I
Yeah, just
think
look
it's
into it.
cool. I think he's like the perfect person to like go to,
Yeah, I
to
think
teach
so too.
this.
I think it'd
I
be
mean, like
like
3 stacks would probably be pretty good too, but I think uh
uh,
he's a part of that great storytellers
mm-hmm.
conversation. And I just think it's perfect for him and all the things that he's doing. I always thought of Nas to be a great person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you always look at people and be like, I think the battle between him and Jay-Z got me on Jay-Z's side and tainted my fandom for Nas a little bit. But seeing what he's doing, the investments that he's making, the things that he's doing outside of hip hop has really made me pay attention to him more.
Mm.
Because those are the things that I actually look into and I actually like, and just seeing those things, man, makes me want to appreciate him more. And honestly, go back and I've started to listen to more of his songs and trying to figure out like why is people always on Nas, you know? So um that's perfect, man. I think that's just fitting for him and everything like that. So
Can you picture starting school and Nas pops on the screen?
I could not picture that,
I can't
man.
either.
I would be like, hold up. I would be the best student in the class. And then I'll be like, man, you like, oh, you're
It's
Nas, man.
Nas. Yeah.
Like
I'm
it's
Nas for a
Nas.
teacher, so nah,
Nas
he's
my
great.
teacher, man. You know I'm finna get some girls off of this.
It's gonna be
Especially, bro,
great.
if I was in undergrad,
I wouldn't know what to do.
I like, bro, he couldn't
I
teach
mean,
me.
Nas is not.
This is Nas, man. What we
Yeah.
learning today?
What's up, man? I want to throw one more thing out there
Go
once we
ahead. Go
end.
ahead.
It'll be real quick since we're on the whole subject of school. Shout out to Ye, man. Ye opened up his school, done the Academy Prep School outside of LA.
Did he?
Um, yeah. It already secured some commitments as far as I think the basketball team as well. Like 5 stars are like coming to play there.
Yeah.
So he's actually there interviewing for a coach. They got like tons of um so they've secured commitments from 5 star basketball prospects, and they're interviewing coaches. Yeah, man, it's tuition free private school K through 12 located outside of Los Angeles. So, and
What's
Adidas is
the
gonna be doing the gear for their athletic sports team. So
that makes
that's
sense.
pretty cool too. So
What's the
um,
determining factor for the students to get in?
that I do not know.
Because I mean, like, if it's free, I don't see why everybody wouldn't go.
That's a good question. That I don't know. Let me see. Uh, I don't know. I have to look more into it.
Yeah. But shout
Uh,
out to him, man. I think that's
yeah,
huge, man. That a lot of these artists are now coming back and creating different avenues for people, younger generations, man. That's why I feel like we all should be striving to do, build that bridge for generations behind you. So shout out to him, man, for that. It's
yeah,
amazing.
man. Yeah, check it out. Read into it.
Yeah. For sure. Um, that's all we got, man.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Yeah, man, let's get on out of here, man. I appreciate you guys listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on the podcast platforms wherever you listen to podcasts from. Just hit the subscribe button so you never miss a drop. If you haven't, go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can follow me at I am Tommy T the Third. You got Steve at the Great Steve O Steve, and you got Greg at Barry Made of Wood. That is too funny. Shout out to G, man, and Allison on their nuptials. Ain't that what it's called? Yeah.
Nuptials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
matrimony.
Yeah, dog. Shout out to him. So he'll be coming back here at some point. What else is it? Did I miss anything? Steve, you got anything?
No,
No?
not too much.
All
I
right,
think
man.
everything's pretty good. Stuff looking nice, and hey, new episode.
There it is. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.
Peace.